Game journalists are so desperate to push their narratives about the gaming industry that they're willing to put out entire hit pieces against industries they claim to love and care about. They are always looking for something to tear apart and attack, and a topic they constantly go after is women in gaming. How female characters are supposed to look ugly, how developers need to accept the fact that not all women are models, and how the industry is, according to them, still grappling with rampant sexism. And of course, Bloomberg, the terrible website they are, decided to put out a new article attacking the industry in another desperate attempt at clicks. I have this full article that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or supporting via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So the video game industry struggles to shake sexist attitudes. Denigrating portrayals of women are common in popular titles, but a hit Sony game offers a glimmer of hope that things are changing. Throughout this article, they completely ignore the fact that there are some amazingly well-written female video game characters, because that doesn't help push their narrative. No, they only focus on what they view as negative. It says the video game business has a long and troubled history of sexism and gender stereotypes. A round of scandals at multiple gaming companies offered a sad reminder that the industry has a lot more to do to fix its culture and eventually repair its reputation. Now, I am definitely not sitting here disagreeing with the fact that there are bad companies in this industry, but in every industry, there are bad individuals and bad companies. Unfortunately, the gaming industry is no stranger to that. There are Activision Blizzards that have bad people working behind them and that are just negative companies in general. You have the riots. Unfortunately, every industry has those companies, though. It says, but the situation isn't hopeless. As a hit release from Sony shows, there is a big market for games that portray women as smart and resourceful actors rather than as pawns, victims, and objects of male desire. This whole article truly feels like a giant advertisement for Horizon Forbidden West, like, oh, look how inclusive it is and how amazingly this game treats women. There's been like no advertisement for this game because it doesn't come out for a few more months, but we can already see the narrative surrounding the game that people are pushing. In my opinion, the first Horizon game was pretty good, but there were articles like this about the first one as well. They were praising it for having a female lead, even though thousands of other games have female leads. It says an incident at a conference about a decade ago has become the poster child for the industry's cultural issues. So they are bringing up the fact that they think that there's this big problem in the gaming industry, but they only have one example to use from over a decade ago. In my opinion, that doesn't make me believe their claims. That doesn't make me say, you know what, maybe we should question the gaming industry. It says, I love the fact that you have a lot of very strong female characters, a woman said to an all-male panel of developers from Activision Blizzard, Incorporated, maker of mega hits World of Warcraft and Call of Duty. However, I was wondering if we can have some that don't look like they stepped out of a Victoria's Secret catalog. A smattering of applause was quickly drowned out by a sea of boos. Instead of defending her, the developers ridiculed her suggestion. Yet amid painful episodes, there are also signs of progress. In particular, Sony's Group Corp's 2017 blockbuster release, Horizon Zero Dawn, shows that there is a huge market for games that don't denigrate women. There are tons of other games out there that have females that do not denigrate females. It says Zero Dawn's main protagonist is a female character who doesn't look like a supermodel. Set in a post-apocalyptic time far in the future, the character named Alloy battles robotic dinosaurs and aims to stop a rogue artificial intelligence system from destroying life on Earth. The game's developers said they wanted to create a believable and inspirational hero for everyone, and it worked. Again, this article is basically just a giant advertisement for Horizon Forbidden West, but there are so many amazing female characters in games, and even if their designs are sexy, that doesn't mean they're bad. Lara Croft, Bastila, Senua, Jill, Claire, Samus, the list goes on, but of course they wouldn't point any of them out because it doesn't help further their narrative. Just because a character looks a certain way doesn't mean they're bad, and on top of that, look at characters like Bayonetta. These hacks claim they want more women in the gaming industry and that more games should feature lead females, but because Bayonetta looks sexy, she's invalid, yet she was designed by a female, so you'd think she'd be a great example of what women can do in the gaming industry and how great characters can be, but nope, because she looks a certain way, the characters are terrible to these people. Female characters don't have to be ugly to be strong, and it's like these people think that's the case, and it is ridiculous. The idea of the femme fatale has existed forever, and not just in games or movies, it comes from real life. So the sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, is poised to be one of the biggest releases of 2022, and if successful, it should encourage other publishers to move beyond superficial female appearances and focus on better storytelling and game quality. Developers are already doing this. This argument is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, this game is coming out. They're changing Aloy's look. They're trying to make her look very different than the first game. If the story's good, that's amazing. If the game quality is good, that is amazing. But developers are already doing this. Developers are already trying to change the way that people see females in games. And unfortunately, it doesn't always turn out to be very positive. It says characters like Aloy remain too rare among mainstream games, and as a video game enthusiast, I find it uncomfortable playing lead titles like Tomb Raider, Genshin Impact, or Bayonetta, all of which feature female characters in skimpy outfits. All these types of people do are complain about attractive women in games, and it's tiring. If you find it uncomfortable to play as a pretty character, that sounds like a you problem. I and most other normal people have no problems playing as attractive women in games. The same goes for muscular, attractive guys. I don't see hit pieces about the gaming industry over-sexualizing male characters, how suits are too tight and you can see their biceps and their abs too well because those articles don't fit the narratives they want to push. This article completely ignores any progress that's been made in the gaming industry, and it's honestly disgusting. I, as a woman in the gaming industry, don't have much respect for you if you're admitting that you find it uncomfortable to play as a fictional female character because her outfit is a little too skimpy. How do you expect to be a gaming journalist? That is unfortunately the problem here. These people aren't real journalists, they are hacks. This rage bait marketing tactic is getting called out more and more, and it's why I personally use archives. I don't want to give them my clicks, I really don't want to give them my views, and the hacks that write articles like these couldn't make it in any other industry, and it's why they're sitting here writing for Bloomberg Gaming. Instead of simply covering video games, they're forcing their own version of political activism down our throats. As a woman in the gaming industry, I have no problems with how females are portrayed in games. Some females in games are sexy, they're strong, they're independent, and they look amazing. That's great. Some characters, are females, but they have more masculine features, they have more masculine attributes, and I also see no problems with that. I just think it depends on what developers want to create, and they should be allowed to create whatever they want. But of course, that's all that I really had to talk about in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.